What's good, everyone? Welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing something completely different. If you're new to the channel, I usually do Amazon related videos where I talk about what it's like working at Amazon. But in today's video and going forward, I'm going to be trying out some new things here and there. And today's topic is going to be discussing the amount of pressure that's put on to like new 18-year-olds, people who are just graduating high school, people who are maybe in college or maybe are just graduating college. Before we continue on with the video, no, that is not a bald spot. For whatever reason, my hair was parted like really far back and very far forward in the middle, front part of my hair. I don't know why, but I fixed it after the video, and I'm not going to re-record the video because it just feels unauthentic doing it a second time around, so sorry about that. Anyways, back to the video. Basically, the amount of pressure that society puts on young people, especially teenagers and especially those who are 16, 17, especially 18 years old and around that age group, the unbelievable amount of pressure that's put onto them. Before I do get started, I have never shown this on camera, but I do have my septum pierced. I've had this pierced for a while now, to be honest, but whenever I record, I usually just flip it inwards, so it's not shown on camera. But today, it's literally 12 in the morning when I'm recording this. I just got up and decided why not record a video, and I didn't feel like flipping it up, so here it is. I've had a septum piercing. Comment down below what you think about it. I know a lot of people don't like it. That's why I've hidden it on camera for a while now, but I kind of don't care right now, so yeah, let's get straight into this topic though. This video idea kind of came about when I was talking to somebody. I work at Amazon, for those who don't know, although if you're subscribed to the channel, I'm pretty sure you do know, obviously, because like I said earlier, I make Amazon related videos. But I kind of came up with this idea when I was talking to someone at my job. I usually don't talk to people that much, but lately I've been getting a little bit more extroverted, and I've been talking to a lot more people, meeting some new people, talking to new faces. And I was talking to this one woman who was 19 years old, and at first we were talking about something entirely different, but the topic kind of came up about how old I am, how old she was. She's 19. I had no idea. I thought she was around my age. I'm 23, by the way. And we kind of just discussed, and she was talking to me, and she kind of brought up like how much pressure she's going through at the moment, and how shitty and how depressed and how unhappy she feels because she's 19 years old and she feels like she's not doing anything with her life. And her main concern and her biggest problem was that she just didn't know what she wanted to do with her life at all. And she didn't feel happy about it. She felt horrible about it. And she just feels like, I'm 19 years old and I don't know what to do, and I feel so crappy about this. And you know, she talked about, I think, if I remember correctly, she talked about family, and she was basically just talking to me about how her problems with that. And she asked me, did you go through that? Like, when you were my age, were you having those same issues? Like, were you unhappy? Were you going through the problems of not knowing what you want to do? Because I had told her that I finally, like, I'm doing what I want to do, which is YouTube. I'm finally doing what I want to do for the rest of my life, or maybe not for the rest of my life, but for the next 10 years, 20 years. I'm finally happy, and I'm finally achieving, or I'm finally going for goals, and I finally know what I want to do for once in my life. And it took so long, but I finally got here. And so she was asking, like, did you feel the same way that I did when I was your age? And for me personally, and I know it's like this for so many other 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, even 16 and 17-year-olds who are just about to graduate high school soon. Maybe they're sophomores or juniors in college or high school. And I was in a spot at that time in my life where I did not know what I wanted to do at all. Like, I literally had no idea what I wanted to do. And a lot of people my age were going through the same exact thing, but at the time I didn't know that. I thought it was just me. I felt so lost. I felt like I felt like a loser. I felt like such a loser. I was dating somebody at the time, and she knew what she wanted to do at the time. And me personally, I was just like, what do I want to do? And I used to think about it so much, and it used to get me so down, and it used to make me hate my life at the time. It used to make me just really want to be like, I was just like, I hate this. I cannot believe that I'm almost 18. I'm almost about to graduate high school, and I literally have no idea what I want to do afterwards. Like, yeah, I'm going to go to college because my family's making me, but I do not know what I want to do. And hearing her talk about all of these things really made me think of this, and made me think about how I felt when I was her age, and just the amount of pressure that these young kids, these 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds are going through right after high school, or even during high school. It is so much pressure. And a problem for me at the time was that my family was putting me under a lot of this pressure. My family was telling me that I need to figure out what I'm going to do. My parents, especially my mom, was pushing me for college a lot, even though deep down inside I kind of knew college wasn't for me. It wasn't something that I wanted to do. I was lost. I was entirely lost. And if you really think about it, how are you supposed to know what you want to do for the rest of your life when you are barely figuring out, and maybe you don't even know yet how to drive, how to pay bills, how to get an apartment, how to work credit score, how to do any of these things. Like, you are learning so much at once, and you're supposed to figure out what you want to do for the rest of your life. You're supposed to have your entire life, according to society, you're supposed to have your entire life figured out by the time you're 18 or 19. And it makes a lot of people feel like crap. And I don't know why. Maybe I don't know if it's millennials or the generation above them. I don't know who started to push this agenda, or maybe this has just always been a problem, but I don't know which like generation this started with. I'm going to use millennials as an example. Maybe it was them. I don't know when this started, but they have such high expectations of people our age, people who are 18 years old, to know exactly what they want to do, have it entirely mapped out step by step with no mistakes, no problems, nothing at all, and just have a straight path for the rest of our lives up until we die. I don't know when this happened. I don't know if this was expected for millennials when they were 18. I don't know if this was expected for like boomers when they were turning 18. I don't know how long this has been a problem, but it's just so uncomforting. And the amount of pressure that is put onto these young kids who are just graduating high school, to me, is bullshit. Because I remember being through that and being so unhappy. I had no idea what I wanted to do. And there's still plenty of people my age. I'm 23 now. I've been graduated from high school for 5 years now. I would say like at least 50 to 75% of the people my age still do not know what they want to do today. Still. And if it wasn't for YouTube, I still wouldn't know what I want to do. Now I know I want to create these videos and post them online for a living. But before then, 2020, I had no idea. I started making videos again in 2021. In 2020, I literally had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I got a college degree, and I'll be completely honest with you, and sorry, this video is a little bit rambly and kind of all over the place, but I have almost zero regrets in my entire life. I've done a lot of things, a lot of stupid things, a lot of good things. I don't have any regrets. But if there was one thing that I would choose and that I would call regret, it's going to college. For whatever reason, I don't know where the misconception or where the confusion was, but there's like a little misconception now that, especially for millennials onto the Gen Zers, or whoever is birthing these Gen Zers, I'm a Gen Zer, whoever is giving birth to us, the generation above us, which I do believe for the most part is millennials. There are a few people under the millennial range, but either way, actually it's probably before millennials, but either way, that's the whole irrelevant part. But whoever's giving birth to us, everyone who's 18 years old now, everyone who's 23 years old now, we are expected to go. They believe that college is the only route because that's how it was for them. Back then, yes, college was completely necessary. Nowadays, it's not necessary pretty much at all if you know what you want to do and it doesn't involve college. But for me and my family, they pressured me to go to college. They said that I had to go to college for at least a year, and a lot of my family just really, really put into my mind that college is the only possible route. And like I said, I almost regret that. If I had to choose one life regret, it would be going to college. I got my degree. I stayed there. I got my degree, and I almost regret it. Sometimes I think about it and I do regret it because I was wasting so much time in college. So sorry for being a little bit rambly, but I just don't know where this pressure on us young people came from. And if this video could be it for anyone out there who is maybe my age and is relating to this, but this could also be for parents. Maybe you are a young parent, maybe you are just getting into parenthood, or maybe you've been parents for 10 years or so and you're watching this. I want to give a message to both sides. I want to give a message to the people my age first off. If you don't know what you want to do with your life and you are 20 years old, you're 18 years old, maybe you just graduated, do not worry about it. If you are under pressure right now, your parents, your family, maybe somebody else, maybe your friends, maybe you work a job and your manager is telling you need to do something with your life, whoever it is telling you that you need to figure out what the hell you're going to do, if you are young, do not worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. Society will tell you that if you don't know what you want to do by 18, 19, that you're a failure. It's not true. Trust me. And if you are stuck right now, I was in your situation just a few years ago. I didn't figure out what I wanted to do until I was 21, 22. I'm 23 now. I just barely figured this stuff out a year or two ago. I was 20 years old. I had no idea what I wanted to do. If you are in that situation, I just want you to know it is okay. Do not let it stress you out. It is not the end of the world. You'll figure things out eventually. Even if it takes till you're 30, just do what you got to do to get yourself on your feet first. Get yourself, your own place. Get yourself a car. All these things that are necessary to live. Be able to take care of yourself first and do things that you love on the side until you finally figure out what you really want to do with your life. But do not worry about it right now. Of course, you should be thinking about it, trying out new things, see what you like, see what you don't like. You should definitely be experiencing new things, but do not let it make you get depressed. Do not make the weight put too much stress on your mental health, on your physical health. Do not let any of this stuff affect you to the point where you become unhappy, because it is not worth it. I was in your situation. It is not worth it. If you do not want to go to college, find a way out of it. Find a way to not go to college. I would not recommend you do what I did and force myself to go to college and get a degree and put myself in thousands of dollars of debt that I can't even afford to pay off at the moment. Do not worry about it. If you're my age right now, do not worry about it. It is okay. Trust me. You're not the only one going through this. There are several of us going through this. I have friends still going through this. Half the people, like I said, half the people my age are going through this. I work at Amazon. I'm pretty sure half the people there do not know what they want to do. That's why they're working there. They're making enough money to support themselves, and they don't know what else they want to do. I highly doubt most of those people in the warehouse want to stay there for the rest of their lives. So do not worry about it. That's my message to all of you who are in high school. Maybe you're about to graduate high school. Maybe you've already graduated college. Maybe you're 30 years old. That's okay. Do not worry about it. It's not realistic to know what you want to spend the entire rest of your life doing. And it's also not even realistic to expect that you'll want to do one thing for the rest of your life. People change, interests change, hobbies change, your desires, your goals, your dreams, they all change. So it's okay. Do not expect any of that. But this next message is for parents. Maybe you just had a kid. Maybe you are planning on having kids in 5 to 10 years. Maybe you are going to, or maybe your kids are just about to graduate high school. Whatever it may be. This is a message to you. Just because your kid is 18, 19, 20, he doesn't know or she doesn't know what they want to do, it does not make them a failure. It does not make them a failure. There are so many other people their age that don't know what they want to do. Just because they don't have their whole entire life mapped out, just because maybe they're 23 and they don't have a whole house like your older generations did, it's okay. It's perfectly fine. Let them do what makes them happy. As long as they can support themselves on their own, live on their own, and feed themselves and take care of themselves, it is perfectly fine. Do not worry about it, and please do not pressure your kid to do things that they do not want to do. I will always have a little bit of, not resentment, but I'll always have a negative feeling towards my family. Not always, because I've forgiven them for it, but I will never feel good about the fact that they made me go to college and the fact that I was told basically that college is the only route. I'll never ever be happy about that. I hated that I went to college. I regret it. I wasted my time. I could have been doing other things instead of going to college. I wasted my time. I wasted my parents' money. I wasted my own money because I paid for the last few semesters. I paid that all out of my own pocket because financial aid wouldn't help me out that much anymore. They barely helped me out, so I paid my own money. I have student loans. I am in debt now because of it. I regret every single last second of going to college. Not a single part of me is happy that I went to college, and I have a degree. I'm not happy with it. So do not pressure your kids to go to college if they don't want to. You're a parent. Those are your own kids. You can do whatever you want. They're your kids, not mine. But if you don't want your kids to resent you, do not pressure them to do things that they don't want to do, or just because you think that they're not leading their lives in the right direction, or just because they don't have their whole entire life mapped out. Again, I'm not their parents. I'm a 23-year-old kid who is still figuring things out himself. It's perfectly fine. Maybe the baby boomers from back then had their whole lives planned out by 18 and all that. Maybe they were just that much superior than us. But nowadays it's different. And nowadays, one, you don't even need a college degree to have a very successful career. Look at all the YouTubers on this platform. And yeah, maybe you'll think that that's unrealistic, but do not tell your kids that they can't do something. If your kids want to be musicians, don't tell them that they can't do that. Support them, help them, give them what they need to succeed. If they want to be YouTubers, support them, help them, give them what they need to succeed. Let them do whatever the hell they want. Let them do what makes them happy. Like I said, as long as they are on their own and they're able to make it on their own and they don't need your support anymore, it doesn't matter. Just let them do what they want to do. Do not force your kids to be doctors, lawyers, or nurses, or whatever it is, just because that's what you feel is right. That's not cool. That just because you made them doesn't mean that that is your life. That's their lives. Let them live their own lives. Let them live their own lives. Let them enjoy what they want to do, because you don't want them to be 30 and 40 and having regretted their entire lives. You don't want that to happen. That happens to a lot of people. Don't let them do that. I mean, don't let them go down the wrong path, and don't lead them down the wrong path is what I mean. Do not force them to do something they don't want to do. Let your kids do what makes them happy. That's just my message to all the parents out there. And like I said, if you are 18, 19, maybe you just graduated high school, whatever it may be, if you're young, if you're under 35, don't worry about the fact that you don't know what you want to do. It's a long life, and there's plenty of obstacles, plenty of things that we got to get through. And not knowing what you want to do is completely understandable, and you're not alone. You are 100% not alone. Just because you don't know what you want to spend the rest of your life doing, it's okay. You should definitely be working on that. You should definitely be trying to figure things out, and not just be sitting around literally doing nothing, like living at your parents' house, just living off of them, not planning on working or anything. Don't do that. Like I said, get on your feet and figure things out on the side, but at least be working towards it. But don't let it stress you out, and don't let it affect you. It's okay. I was your age just a couple years ago when I had no idea what I wanted to do. And I am still figuring so much of my life out. I have so many plans. Every year, life changes significantly. This year was the craziest of them all. Next year, I think, is going to be even crazier. Life changes. You can't expect to plan it all out. You can't expect to make a plan for your 21-year-old self when you're 18. It's just not going to happen. It's going to change. Things are going to change. Things aren't going to work out the way you wanted them to. You're going to fail. You're going to succeed. And you're going to fail even more. And you're going to fail a lot. When you're in your early 20s, you fail a shit ton. That's just what you do. That's what you do. You fail. That's what the 20s are for. They're there to fail. But they're also there to make you succeed and get you up on your feet. So enjoy yourself. Enjoy your life. And do not worry about not knowing what you want to do. But that's just the end of this video. It was a ranty one. I didn't have any notes for it. I kind of just talked off the top of my mind, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I guess I'm going to end that there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. A bit of a different one. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about all this. And I'm not making this video and saying that it's okay to be lazy. It's not okay to be lazy. Never be lazy. Always better yourself. Always try to make yourself the best possible you that you can possibly be. But it's okay if you don't know what you want to be yet. Just make yourself as best as possible while you're figuring it out. But yeah, I'm going to end that there. Hopefully this helps some of you guys out. If you think that you have a teenager in your life, maybe 18 years old, 19 years old, whatever it may be. If you have a teenager in your life, or maybe somebody who is in their early to late 20s, I should have just said 20s, but if you have that and you think this video will help them out, share them the link. And let me know what you thought about this video. And if you are somebody who watches my Amazon videos and you like these type of videos, also let me know down in the comments below, because I'm thinking about switching up the content on this channel just a little bit more. I've said this before, I think I will be leaving Amazon, especially within the next year. So I'm still going to be making Amazon content every now and then, but I'm going to be trying out different things, seeing what works best, seeing what I can do, and testing out my abilities on this platform. But yeah, okay, I'm finally going to end that there. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe down below, share this with all your friends and family, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. I love you all. Peace.